Hey y'all, welcome to the next video. So we are still in Unit 1, Matter and Measurement. We are on Skill 2, which is Classifying Matter. And this is Part 3, the classification steps. So we're going to ask a series of questions that you can do for any example to figure out exactly what type of matter it is. So remember, we are talking about elements, compounds, homogeneous mixtures, and heterogeneous mixtures. So you got this diagram in the last set of notes, and you might be saying, hey, I already know how to use that diagram, I can identify, all good, but I'm going to give you some questions anyways. So would you know what state of matter these are? So this is table salt in here, this is copper wire, this is a bird, I don't know what kind, blue jay maybe, and this is Listerine. So let's go over the questions you can ask yourselves, and at the end we're going to come back to these and see if you are right to identify what type of matter each one is. Alright, so when you have a sample of matter, it's important to know what kind of matter you have, whether it's an element, a compound, a homogeneous mixture, or a heterogeneous mixture. So the first thing you want to ask yourself is, does the sample fit either of the following? 1. There are multiple phases, as in it looks different in different places, because each place where it looks different is considered a phase, or is it living? If you answer yes to either of those questions, then it's a heterogeneous mixture. So like the oil and water that we saw last time, that's going to be a heterogeneous mixture because it has different phases. It has the oil phase and the water phase that are clearly different from each other. If it's no, move on to the next question. So the next question, does this single phase substance, because remember in the last step we got rid of anything that has multiple phases, come in different varieties, concentrations, options, or purities? So if you say yes, then it's a homogeneous mixture, because it has to be a mixture if there's different options within that thing. So for example, milk, right? You can get 1% milk, 2% milk, whole milk, almond milk. So there's all sorts of different types, so that makes it a mixture. If the answer is no, move on to the next type. All right, is this single phase set composition substance on the periodic table? If you say yes, then it's an element. For example, zinc. It doesn't matter if you have a zinc cube, if you have zinc dust, if you have liquid zinc, like if you put it at a really, really hot temperature and melt it, it's still zinc. So don't be thrown off by anything that's describing the zinc, like gas or shaven or chunks, right? It's still zinc. As long as it says zinc dust or zinc pieces, it's still zinc. If it's no, then it's going to be a compound. For example, sucrose. So sucrose is sugar, like table sugar, what you put in your tea or what you use to bake brownies with. And no matter where you get sucrose from, it's always going to be the exact same chemical composition, which, fun fact, is why you should definitely buy the cheaper sugar at the grocery store, because it's all the same. All right, guys, I want you to go through these, and I want you to guess, using the steps, which type of matter each of these 4 things are. So go ahead and pause the video, write down your couple answers, and then let's go over the answers. All right, so you should have just frozen the video, did you? And we're going to go over the answers. So table salt, NaCl, if you look at it, it all looks the same throughout, so it can't be heterogeneous. Every sample is exactly the same, so it can't be a homogeneous mixture. And it's not on the periodic table, so it has to be a compound. Plus, we can see that over here, it's got 2 elements in it, so we know that it's a compound. Next, the bird, different phases throughout, like the beak is different from the feathers, and even within the feathers, you've got like the stemmy part of the feather, plus the feathery parts of the feather, so that's going to be heterogeneous. Copper wire, it looks the same throughout. Don't be fooled because there's different pieces. You're talking like about each little bit looks the same. So don't let shadows confuse you, or if there's a cut in it, right, to have 2 different pieces next to each other, that's not going to be different from each other. They're just in 2 different pieces. So copper is on the periodic table. Wire is just describing how your sample of copper is. So this is an element. And Listerine, although each container looks the same throughout, every bottle of Listerine is going to be a little bit different from the rest. Plus, it's really clear to see here, it comes in different colors, so you can get different varieties, so therefore it is not a pure substance. It's not always the same. So since it looks the same throughout, it's a homogeneous mixture. All right, hope you did well. Be sure to let me know if you have any questions, and see you in the next video.